Hello. Today I'm going to do a story from Love Diary number 92 from March 1975 with artwork by Enrique Nieto. It's called I'll Always Love Him. And if you like it, please let me know. You can like it or put in a comment. I'll always love him. When I first met Lee, I really liked him. And after our fifth or sixth date, I knew I loved him. And I always would. No man I'd ever met had his charm. I'd never been turned on by anyone's kisses as I was by Lee Caldwell. But I had no way of knowing that each moment of bliss we shared would be paid for in hours and days of agony and misery. Look, Lee grabbed the new chick off. She's something else. Someone ought to clue her in about Caldwell, but I'm not going to do it. Let her find out the hard way. Lee was really with it. He took me to the wildest places in town. Lee, this is great. The music is something else. I know, but we've got to split. There's a dude I've got to see. He's not here. Lee is edgy. Maybe he's worried about something. We went to a few bars, dark, intimate places with dimly seen customers huddling in the shadows in the background. This is nice, Lee. Jacqueline hasn't been here. Thanks, Alicia. Come on, Kathy. Why are you so anxious to find this character, Lee? Is he a good friend of yours? Friend? Not exactly, Kathy, but right now I've got to see him. Lee and I spent an hour racing from one place to another until whoever Jacqueline is, he doesn't seem very friendly. Lee seems to be arguing with him. Don't bug me, man. I don't work that way, and you know it. You can't turn me down, Jacqueline. Lee, what's wrong? Uh, that's Jacqueline. He owed me some money. I'll be a little short until the bank's open Monday. Is that all? I've got some mad money. How much do you need? Will 50 help? I I hate to take money from you, sweetie, but I'll give it back Monday. Lee took the money. Jacqueline had been watching from the table in the dark corner. He was waiting for Lee. If Jacqueline owed Lee money, why is Lee paying Jacqueline? But afterwards, Lee was more relaxed. We had a really marvelous time. And later, darling, you're really great. Oh, Lee. Ooh, psychedelic. I need someone like you, darling. Will you marry me? He really meant it. And Saturday night, after a beautiful evening out, he surprised me with, "Oh, Lee, it's beautiful. I've never felt like this about anyone. He's so sweet." But in a few days, Lee was edgy again. I didn't see him one Friday night when we had a date. Sorry, I can't make it, darling. I've got a really bad headache. I'll feel better tomorrow. I'm sure you will, Lee. I can tell by your voice you don't feel well. He sounded terrible. He really needs help. I'm going over there. After all, I'm going to marry him. I better get used to nursing him when he's sick. It's about time, Kathy. I brought some aspirin. I thought I'd fix you something to eat. Stop meddling, Kathy. Now you'd better get out of here. Ding dong. Too late. Go in the bathroom. Lee, you're shaking all over. Who's at the door? It's Jacqueline. Lee is offering him money again, but Jacqueline isn't taking it. They're arguing. The price went up, Caldwell. Either pay or I'll find someone else who will. Let me have $20, Kathy. I'll give it back. It had better be decent stuff, Jacqueline. If it's not, What are they? It must be narcotics. Lee, what did you give him that money for? What? Stop hassling me, Kathy. I'll be out in a minute. But he didn't come out for 5 minutes, and when he did, Kathy, I think my headache is going away. You didn't have a headache, Lee. That wasn't an aspirin you just took. Let me see your arms, Lee. I've got to know. Believe me, Kathy, it's better if you don't. Lee, needle marks. You've been using drugs. Not that often, Kathy. I'm not hooked, and I'm not going to be. Lee, if you really love me, you'll see a doctor, one who specializes in this sort of thing. I will, Kathy, but give me time. I can lick this thing myself. Please, darling, just 10 days. You'll see. I'll kick the habit. Oh, Lee, I'll help you in any way I can. Lee claimed he could buy methadone on the street without going to the city clinic and becoming registered as a narcotics addict. But he needed money, so how do you like that, Kathy? They paid me less than half what I gave for that ring 6 weeks ago. You could have gotten more, Lee, but you were in a hurry. Lee assured me that the methadone would solve his problem, but I've been phoning for an hour and his phone is off the hook. His door chimes are loud. He should wake up. Lee doesn't even know I've got this key. I had a duplicate made up 2 weeks ago. Oh my God! I, Lee, darling, wake up. He's unconscious. There was a doctor in the first floor of Lee's apartment house. I called him. He called for an ambulance. Looks like a narcotic overdose, miss. He's been using junk quite a while, but he can be cured if he wants it badly enough. I'll do anything in the world to save him, doctor. If you were my daughter, I'd be more concerned about you saving yourself. I won't abandon him now, doctor. He needs me. I went to visit him at the narcotics ward of the city hospital where he had been taken. For 12 hours it seemed doubtful that he would live. Kathy, what are... Oh, I OD'd, didn't I? Lee, you're going to be all right. Jacqueline sold me bad smack, Kathy. I know I let you down, but it won't happen again. It won't if you do exactly what the doctors tell you, Lee. It took a long time. Lee received inpatient care, and with the help of other drugs, Lee was finally declared cured, and we left the hospital. Wow, this is great. I'm a free man again. And you'll stay free, won't you, darling? As long as you're on my side, Kathy, I'll never shoot up again. I believe you, darling. For weeks, we were happier than ever. Then the signs began to appear. Lee would be edgy at times. Lee, I had at least $80 in my purse, but it's gone. I had it this morning when I forgot to pay the rent. I was a little short. I'll pay you back Friday. He didn't notice that I was leaving. He was on the phone extension in the bedroom, and I knew who he was talking to and why. As I walked away from love and from all the misery I knew the future would hold for me. The end.